Okay, gonna make this video real quick to answer your question. Can you fire 8x57 and 8x60? And the answer is no. So this is why. This is this is a Mauser manual from the 20s. And then in the 60s, another company reprinted this. But it's a pretty good, you can find this on eBay. It's actually a pretty interesting read through stuff. But here they have a cartridge page. And I just wanted to show you this because I don't have an 8x60 millimeter round, but you can see this is a life-size drawing. And here's 8x57. So when I line this up here, you can see the 3 millimeters difference. And so what's going to happen then, if you stick, here's a chamber. It happens to be, this is an old barrel from when I used to do work in gunsmithing. And I use this for demonstrations, and that happens to be 8x57. And you can see there's the chamber. So this is cut away here. And normally, stick this in here. So normally that's the way the cartridge sits in the chamber. And when you fire, the bullet, obviously takes off and does its thing, but the cartridge is very well supported, right? The problem is if you fire one of these 8x57 rounds in an 8x60 chamber, it's going to be like this. I mean, I'm going to exaggerate here more than the 3 millimeters, but just so you get the idea. It's going to fire like that, and what's going to happen is this brass is going to expand rapidly, and it'll be supported by this wall eventually, but that's too much of an expansion. Probably what will happen is the brass will probably split right here potentially, and it might even crack all the way to here. And if that happens, you'll actually get gas blown back in your face. Which could, it's a very high velocity. I'm not sure what kind of rifle you have. If it's a Mauser, the Mauser is actually designed, if that happens and you're not wearing eye protection and whatnot, it's a very well designed system, and it'll actually divert the gas away from your eye. It'll like vector it. I actually know this firsthand from firing this old surplus ammo, which did split. And but the other thing too is you'll have a lot of inaccuracy as well, because the bullet has quite a lot of play before it actually going to start touching the lands and the grooves of the barrel. So overall, it's unsafe, and you shouldn't do it, and that's why you're going to have probably some serious problems with your brass. If you have like a weaker gun than a Mauser 98, you might even blow up the gun. And yeah, at the very least, I'm fairly confident you would probably get gas directed back at the shooter if that happened, and you'd also have some very inaccurate situations. I would recommend, I pulled this out. Unfortunately, it's the Woodley bullets. I actually use this to shoot that 8 millimeter Mauser that you see in the video there, because it's not normal 8x57 that you can buy in the store. It's this 8x57, which you can't buy in the store. So I thought, because this is kind of a good reloading book, because it has a lot of old cartridges, and unfortunately they don't have 8x60, which I'm kind of shocked at. They do have 8x68, and they obviously have the 8x57. But yeah, this is the book, the reloading book, that I thought for sure would have it, but it doesn't. And so I don't know what to tell you on that. The main thing that I can think of is you're basically going to have to find custom dies and reloading dies and reload your own ammunition. And I would probably start, there's a forum called German Guns. I'll put a link in the description, but because this was, like I said, this was going to be the first place I went to try to reload 8x60, and you'll have to find someone willing to make you the dies, or Um, you'll have to have them custom made, or I don't think there's anyone out there that's gonna sell them because it's not a very common round, which I'm sure you're finding out, which is probably why you're asking if you can shoot 8x57 and an 8x60 chamber. So, yeah, hopefully that helps, and yeah, so have a good one.